Hi guys, my name's Luke,
Hi, I'm Hannah.
I'm Ellie.
and we're here today to talk to you about how to prep for mocks. We're all Year 13 students. We all study biology, chemistry, English, psychology, maths, and we're here to talk to you today about how we sort of prep for mocks, why we think mocks are important, and if we like the bits of revision that we're doing, like if we've got a timetable. That's if we've got a timetable. So, why are mocks important? So, for me, I know it might sound a bit mundane and things like that, but mocks are important for you to be able to identify where your weak points are. And if you're just revising bonding every time it comes to chemistry on your timetable, it's not going to be effective. Stretch yourself and push yourself. Review and go over your exams, past papers, the old questions that you've done that you're not getting right, and see where you're going wrong. And that's where you should focus your revision on. I know it's really patronising when people sort of say to you, oh, well, you should revise on your weak spots, you shouldn't revise. But usually it's just a comfort zone that students are in, because at A level, you'll realise that there's not many things that you might get right. You know all the information. So yeah, just carry on going over your weak spots, because they're the points that you're obviously dropping marks on. What about you, Ellie? Why do you think that mocks are important?
Well, I'm the only one out of us lot who've actually sat the mocks of this year 13 yet, Anta. So when I came out of my chemistry, for example, I felt like I'd done not bad, but I hadn't got full marks on the moles questions and stuff that I'd done from last year. So it makes you remember that it's not just the new content that you're learning that you need to revise from and practice doing exam questions of. It is all last year as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to put it into perspective how much it's going to be in the actual A-level exam at the end.
I also think mocks are important because of just getting used to the exam, feeling like walking into the exam hall, getting lost trying to find your seat because where is row H? Don't know. All of that, it sounds quite simple, but when you're already stressed out about an exam, it's something that you've got to get used to. So I think having a go at that before the pressure is really on for the exam is quite important.
Do either of you have a revision timetable?
No.
No, I do not. And I'm going to defend that with they don't tend to always work for me. I'll stick to them for a few days, a couple of weeks, and I'll be really on it. And then something will come up, like a load of maths due in the next day. And then I'll be like, right, I'll just do today's topic tomorrow. I'll catch up. And in the end, it ends up kind of all building up. And then I'm like, nope, I'm never catching up. That's it. I'm done. I'm not revising anymore. Sorry. So I prefer to have a list of my weaknesses and work through that. And sometimes have deadlines on different things and know when I'll start doing exam practice, because I find that works better for me.
On my mocks is mainly year one stuff. So I'm sort of leaving year two stuff because it's not my biggest priority right now. And making little checklists. So that's what the Tailored Tutors videos have as well, especially when the live web classes. You've got your PDFs that you can open, which goes through the topic and the questions. And I think it's really good to put on flashcards for revision. But the checklist is what Tailored Tutors already has in the videos. Even there's the few sentences. So if you were doing about nervous coordination in biology, and even if you've got things like neuromuscular junction or collagenic synapses, or even if you think got muscles, so myosin and actin or silent filament theory, those few words is really good. But you can make it on an A3 mind map or a card or a piece of paper, anything, and just try and blur what you can remember from it. And I think sometimes words can sort of stimulate or trigger different memories that you can remember. And then if you don't understand something, then you can write that down, and then you can think, right, okay, I didn't really get a lot out of that, or I didn't really remember much about that. That's one topic that I need to go over and need to remember. So yeah.
I think I'm going to start doing that a bit more.
Are there any other techniques that you're finding useful?
I've got a different sort of mindset into year 13. So in year 12, I tried to make sure that everything was really neat so I could still read it. Obviously, being neat is important. So before exams, I can quickly flick through. But I think for me, getting majority of past paper questions done, past exam questions, and then actually looking through the mark scheme afterwards. If you're not showing anything, I'd always just have a look at Exam Pro or Physics and Maths tutors or Maths Made Easy. they've got like banks and banks of questions, and as well as the mark schemes as well. If you're just wanting like those quick fixes that you can think, right, I just need to know it, I need to know it, have a look on the mark schemes on those and write down on the card and just go over it, test yourself on it. And active recall as well. So I'm a big believer in that. So my board. I always use my whiteboard. Oh, just fell. I always use my whiteboard to see if I can remember.
Wholly agree with most of what you said there, but I see like I'm not that good at remembering to do active recall because I mostly just go with exam practice. So like what I'll do is using tailored tutors, I'd go onto the exam guide and I'd watch the question analysis video, and then I'd do the question myself without watching how they do it, and then I'd watch how they do it and explain it all. But I can't fully understand mark schemes when I just read them. I have to like know the entire situation of the topic or like of the question, because like if I'm given a graph in a question, then it says explain the difference in the correlation of these two marking points, and then I just look at the mark scheme and it says it has to be this and it has to be this. I'd have to like understand how to word it in the actual question and not just put down the blank points. So I feel like without doing that through practice and practice and practice, then I won't get the marks on them types of questions.
Totally agree. Like 100% agree. What about you, Hannah? How do you revise?
I like to make notes from videos because I learn quite a lot from seeing and hearing. So videos are perfect for me. And then I turn those into flashcards because then it's even more condensed. And then just loads of exam practice and trying to space it out a bit so I don't test myself straight after learning the content. Otherwise, it's basically seeing what I've just crammed into my head. So I try to leave testing myself on that topic for a couple of days to see what stayed in my long-term memory. Thanks for watching. We'll leave the links to each other in the description. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.